Hey everybody, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I am playing Shadows of Brimstone. This is actually my Marshall and Gunslinger's visit to town after the 4th mission. They were successful in rescuing the dock there, and no offices or anything were destroyed, so they are heading to town. Now before they get to town, I need to do something. I need to roll a dice for each hero. You roll a d6, and on a 1 or 2, there is a travel hazard. Now, each one of them has a grit, so I could re-roll this if I don't like it. So let's see. So let's do the Marshall first. Marshall rolled a 4, so no travel hazard, and the Gunslinger rolled a 4, so no travel hazard. So that's good. So they make it to town. Now, right now, I wrote it down here. They have a combined $240 between them. However, the Gunslinger has an extra pistol which he can sell for $100. So I'm going to go ahead and say he sells that. I cannot remember if you have to be at the general store. The general store is where you buy stuff, but I think if you're just in town, you can sell the loot that you have for the dollar amount. I believe that's what it said somewhere in the rule book. If I'm wrong, let me know. All right, so here's how it's going to start. We are on day 1. I don't have to decide yet on the hotel. That's at the end of the day. So it says at the start of a town stay, the heroes must place the darkness marker on day 1. So we're at day 1. At the end of the day, you've got to roll a d6 to see what happens. Now it says, okay, I can't remember. There was something about the hotel visit. So let me just check this real quick. So if you're staying at the hotel, at the start of each day in town, each hero must decide if they want to stay at the hotel for it. So you do have to stay. So I am going to stay at the hotel for a total of $20. So they have $340, and I'm going to say minus 20 for the hotel. So they're down to $320. The reason is if you go to the campsite, bad things can happen. So the hotel at least gives you a little bit of safety. The campsite does not cost any gold, but it can be a little rough. Any hero staying at camp must roll 2d6 on the campsite hazard chart. And I hate doing that. So just to be safe, I'll go ahead and stay at the hotel. Now, on day 1, they can each visit one location. So it says, while in town, a hero may elect to sell any item card they have for the amount of gold listed. Discard the card and add the gold to your hero. This can be done at any time, regardless of where you are in town. Yeah, I remember that. Items purchased in town may later be sold for 50%, so I haven't had to do that yet. Okay, so let's see. The first thing I want to do is, it was the doc's office, I think, that has some really good stuff. Or maybe it was the church. The armor thing, I think it was the church, but I don't think I can afford it this time. The church is where I could buy that Aura of Endurance, which was spirit armor. Or Aura of Fortitude was spirit, Aura of Endurance was $200. I do not have $400 to buy that again, which is unfortunate. But I think what I'm going to do is buy it for the Gunslinger, because he always seems to be the one that takes the most damage, and he doesn't have the best defense roll. He has a defense of 5 versus the defense roll for the Marshall of 3. So I'm gonna have the Gunslinger go to the church, which is kind of funny. The Gunslinger, the sort of not a villain, but uses his gun quite. He's heading to the church. So when you get to the church, you have to roll to see if there's an event there. So let's go ahead and do that. You roll 2d6, and I rolled an 8, which is faith to the Forsaken. The preacher's fiery oratory echoes through the church. No event. All right, so there's no event there. And I'm going to have him spend 200 gold on an Aura of Endurance for the Gunslinger. Limited 1 blessed aura at a time. Limit 1 blessed aura. I didn't realize that. Limit 1 blessed aura. So you can only have 1 aura. Each character can have 1. So it's make a spirit 4 test. Oh, yeah, you got to make a spirit test. So a spirit 4, And his spirit is, I believe, 2. Let me double check. Yeah, his spirit is 2. So I'm going to roll 2 dice, and I have to get 4 to receive it. And I got a 6, so I did get the aura, so that's good. That leaves me with $120. He is done. I don't think I need to buy anything else. No exorcism, no banishment. He could buy a vial of ash. Discard it anytime to do 1 wound to every... Nah. Okay. So, let's see. Where will I send my marshal? Each one of them has a full complement of dynamite, bandages, whiskey, and... What was the other thing they have? Something called tonic. Yeah. So they each have one of those. So I don't need to buy bandages or dynamite. Although, let me just check what the cost of the dynamite was at the general store. I think it's it's 200. So I don't even have enough to buy that. I could buy some extra bandages, which I think I'm probably going to do. I will buy 2 bandages for $50 each, so that's minus 100, which just leaves my guys with $20. So they head back to the hotel. Now, here's how this works. It says at the end of the day, it's the end of the day, the hero must roll a single d6. If it is higher than the current position of the darkness marker, the day ends with that incident. So basically, I just don't want to roll a 1. At the end of the day, the hero posits. So you just roll 1 die, not individual for each person. And I rolled a 3. So there is no event. And on the next day, I could choose to stay or I can leave. Well, there's really no benefit to me staying. I have no money to buy anything. So I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So I sold some items. I bought some items. I got plus 2 bandages. And I'll update that on the character sheets, as well as the Aura of Endurance, which gives a armor plus 5+ to my Gunslinger. Unfortunately, my Marshal didn't really get anything this turn, so I'm going to go ahead and choose to leave town and head to the next adventure, which will be... Let's see I don't even remember what it's going to be. Let's see. The next adventure, I'm looking at the wrong book, is Mission 5, Basic Mission 5, which is called Escape. And I remember this one. I read it. You got to start in the middle of the mine and find your way out. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see. All right, that is all I have for this particular playthrough. Again, this was Shadows of Brimstone. It's a... You can play cooperatively, but it is, for me, it's a solo game, and I am really enjoying it, even though it is very, very hard. I mean, there are times when I really question if I'm going to survive. So far, my guys have. They've used their revive token a few times, but finally they're getting enough money and some bonuses and stuff that I think... I'm not saying the game's getting a little easier, but it's my guys are getting a little more powerful, and they're both level 2, and they've got some bonuses and stuff like that. So, all right, that's all I have for this very short playthrough video. Again, Shadows of Brimstone. If you are not familiar with this game, it comes in 2 boxes. You can get Swamps of Death, or you can get City of Ancients. It's 2 core sets. Both of them have the same basic missions to play, but they come with different characters. Like the City of the Ancients has the Gunslinger and the Marshal, whereas the Swamps of Death, I'm trying to remember, I think the Swamps of Death it's the Lawman, the Rancher, the Preacher, and the Indian Scout. So depending, you only need to buy one. You can get both if you want. But if you just get one, figure out which of the 4 core characters you want and then buy respectively. So, let's see. That was the end of the town. I'll be back for mission number 5 shortly in a new video. Until then, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on this playthrough. Everybody, take care.